What's up, everybody? Welcome back to that all famous show we know we love, wine, cheese, and comics. Please, ladies and gents, I am your host, Sans, and I got two fabulous co-hosts that you guys know and love. Let me bring them on from backstage because they were early, y'all, and y'all know my rule. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is unheard of. They was looking at me like Sans. Check the time, my friend. Check the time. So without further ado, let me bring that time-traveling brother to the stage. My brother from another mother, the one, the only, DJ Promiscuous Time Traveler. What's up, Time Traveler?
Dude, hanging in there. Speaking of time, it's been way too long in between these episodes. Happy episode 9 to everybody who's keeping score out there. And all right. And as we bring in Matt, I'm gonna open this bad boy.
Speaking of bringing somebody in, this gentleman threw on the blazer, but he said, I got to keep it Philly. I got to keep it PA for y'all. Let me put the hat to the back. My brother from another mother, the one and only Last Level Comics. What's up, Matt?
Oh, it's a little small since the last time we met. So I apologize, guys. It's been so long, and we have so much to talk about tonight. You said we're going to keep it classy. I mean, you got the wine, you got the grapes. You know, us Philly boys, we got to just, go with the old Natty Light out of the jacket.
Man.
In the jacket pocket.
Bring out my flask now. I have to go into my pocket and bring out a uniqueness called the flask.
I promised I would keep my level of class at the level of Marvel TV shows for this evening.
Oh, so that's very high class because Marvel is killing the TV show. So cheers to that, my friend.
I tell you, this beer is warm, but I don't think you believe it.
Hey, if you're European, that is
welcome back, gents. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and say what's up to the chat, man. We got a lot to dive into. There's been so much time in between this. Let's see who got here. Tell your friends to tell a friend. We got my man Biggie is in the building. New World Order. Welcome to the Wine, Cheese, and Comics. Please, the sophisticated look at your collectibles, your comics, and all things pop culture. My man Biggie is in here hanging out. He said, what's up, my boys? We got that gentleman, the one, the only, the legend in the making. Billy Badass, a.k.a. William Albright, is in the building, y'all. He said, y'all know I'm here until...
No, I deleted the comment.
There he goes. Get him out of here. Brooklyn Born is in the house, my man.
Hey, Brooklyn Born. What's up,
Brooklyn,
man?
welcome. Y'all, every time I reach out to Brooklyn, he's like, man, I'm going to PR. I'll be so jealous. He sends me pictures of the sunset and PR. I'm like, man, here we go. So y'all know what it is. He said, he said, man, those roast joints hitting different right now. What you got in that? He said he got some lethal gas going on. There you go. We talking about different things, all things pop culture. Cannabis is pretty damn pop culture right now. We got my man Starscream in the building. Hello, Starscream 69, the big homie. Hey, man, Megatron came looking for you, man. Megatron was looking for you. He said, make sure you pay that money you owe him. God damn you, Da Vinci, y'all. Let me just say.
Is that someday Da Vinci?
Yes, he has made a name for himself, claiming all kinds of big books, so much so that he's been rebranded as Damn You, Da Vinci. Speaking of Damn You, Da Vinci, I got something you might want. My man,
Time out. He sells comic books 5 days a week. Literally 5 days a week. This is a comic show. This ain't no comic sales show.
There's no sales there. I just said he got some.
Oh, yeah,
welcome in, guys.
Da Vinci said to make sure I let him know.
I got time for this.
Da Vinci said to make sure I let him know when that book came in, y'all. So there we go. Good to see everybody in the chat, man. Do me a favor, smash the like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is not an auction. We are not selling books tonight. We're selling our thoughts. We're selling Matt's hatred of all things pop culture.
It is flowing heavy.
Listen, y'all
I need
know
a hefty bag.
Siths,
That's how heavy it
when
is.
y'all think of Sith Lords, that is Matt right now with everything pop culture. Marvel, hate it. DC movies, hate it. Look at him. Don't let me. I see my Schwartz is bigger than yours.
Oh no, I'm a better lightsaber wielder than Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I figured, might as well go on YouTube and show him how to use this thing.
All right,
we're getting straight into this.
Enough with the pleasantries. Yes. Matt, what we jumping into, Matt? Before you go and break something, what are we jumping into?
Stay.
Even before we do that, what do you had the Bud Light, Matt?
Oh yeah, we got to introduce what we have.
Le Black Blue.
Le Black Blue.
Le Black Blue.
What are you sipping on tonight, Kyle?
All right, I have a nice Italian white wine. Don't ask me to pronounce it because there's no way I do any of those words justice. I have no clue what it says. It's from Italy, though.
There you go. Got some Italian. I got that.
Italy, behind the grocery store back lot. Yes.
Yeah.
I got that Walking Dead Blood Red blend.
Ooh. They sold it to me as hooch, so I'm not sure exactly.
That moonshine hooch, goodness.
And then we got crackers, some salami, and some beer cheese today.
Nice. I am sporting some nice dark cherries.
Ooh,
I
very
have
nice.
some pork right here, y'all. This is nice. And I do have some egg roll goodies, y'all. I got all kinds of different things to wet my palate with tonight, y'all. So let's do it.
Cough drops.
He got cough drops. Those ain't real cough drops, y'all. Y'all know what's in that bag. Y'all know where that baggie came from, man. He's got all kinds of edibles. He's gonna be on one. But Matt, what we gonna kick off and get started with this?
Let's just go with the biggest topic that we can Let's just cover the gamut. Where do you want to start?
Let's go with TV shows.
It's been like 2 months since we talked.
Let's go with TV shows, and let's go with the biggest and the baddest. Let's go with the one, the only Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, you got to start with the
blockbuster. Let's go guns blazing because you already started talking trash about it. So, let us hear your thoughts.
Try to be soft on episode 5 for the people who haven't had time to watch it today. So.
And also, people in the chat, what are you guys drinking and snacking on tonight? Let us
absolutely.
know.
Just the fact that the chat has already shown up, we did zero promoting of this, and we just went live. So
that's how you do it.
The biggest thing is we did not get our pre-show predictions for this. So there was no running tab on this one.
Okay.
First, the title of the show needs to be changed. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's Obi-Wine Kenobi. Because the man literally cries almost every episode.
Cheers.
Spoiler free. Spoiler free. I'm not even going to get into it. This dude was supposed to be the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And he is swallowing his pride in a hole. And he don't even know what a lightsaber is anymore. For the first, 4 episodes, he uses a blaster. Come on. Come on. And he doesn't have a better shot than a stormtrooper. That's the worst part.
You got to give him some time because he's been hiding. He's been a
hermit.
He's
literally been training for a Jedi his whole life.
It's like riding a bike. You get off, that first couple times, you're like, oh man, hold on, I got to get the wheels going. It's going. You saw when he was going with Vader. He was holding his own a little bit.
Don't defend him. Don't.
Kyle, what's your thoughts on Obi-Wan, Kyle?
I'm not gonna defend Obi-Wan as a Jedi or in the show, but I will defend the show. I think the show kicks ass, and I love it, and it's getting better with each issue or each episode as we go along. It started off kind of like Mandalorian did, very slow burn, took its time to build up, and now it's hitting home. It's giving people what they like, at least about Star Wars. Intellectually, the plot choices are kind of wonky, but I think if we get to this last episode next week, I think that it's gonna end with a bang, and people are gonna be itching for like a season 2. So
Well,
we'll see.
let's just.
Oh, and before if I were to do a prediction, I was like pissing my pants excited for the show, and it's still there. I had really high expectations, and it hasn't quite met them yet.
Well, let me just say this: Disney Plus shows. This by far is my favorite.
Oh,
this by far is my favorite.
Let me just say, Mandalorian. Sorry,
the fanboy in me came out episode 3.
Oh yeah,
delivered everything.
Wait. It took you 3 episodes in a 6-episode series to come to the table.
You know how Disney Plus does. They build you up slowly. You got to know what was going on before you get into where you are now. Episode
what build up, my man? What build up? We knew it happened because we saw A New Hope. We
didn't see what happened in between. We didn't know how young Leia was getting along.
Okay, Matt, that was the same defense that they had for Rogue One, and I enjoyed the crap out of it.
Rogue One was phenomenal. I'll agree with you.
But they're they know what happens.
So so real quick, if they would have left Leia out of this series, I think I would have liked it more. I hate the fact that they had to pull Leia and they had to pull Luke into this because I just think leave the kids out of it. Just let the man go sulk in his ways that his Padawan is going to come back and kick his ass yet again.
Listen, I can tell you what, that her running away on a foreign planet, she would have been gone. I'll tell you that much. I'd have been like, all right, bye. I tried, right? But when I get to episode 3, the payoff for Vader, that was by far some of the best Vader I've seen to date.
You're gonna love it, episode 5, man.
So there we go. by far some of the best Vader I've seen to date. And or am I mixing up episode 3 and episode 4 was I just saw 4. Yeah. So that was by far some of the best Vader I've seen to date with. I'm talking about from all of the old series, Anakin as a kid, whatever.
Lies.
This Vader gave me chills.
Lies.
Gave me chills to see him in that water, to hear the breathing, everything from the James Earl Jones digital voice to the walk, to the everything, man, to the Force. Yo, it brought back all of the spookiness and myth and lore of Vader.
I'm with it,
glory.
I'm with it.
So that's all I'll say. And when you get to that pinnacle, if you can raise a Vader level, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Look, my man Emmy said Vader's the only thing that's good with Kenobi's show. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going well for me. The only criticism I will give it is it's mirroring the Mandalorian very much so, in a sense of one guy, one child type of thing, and they're on a journey and a path. So is it going down that same path too much, right? But as we know, our critic on this panel just cannot, but he has to give this show credit because it's what's been better than this show, Matt?
How was your nap?
Nothing.
First off,
Nothing. Well, actually, what's better than the show right now is The Boys season 3. So
okay,
but
we can talk a little boys, but let's finish.
I can't. And the best Vader we saw was at the end of Rogue One when they showed Vader going after. That's the best Vader.
That was one scene, and
that whole scene just trumped episode 3.
Him walking down the hallway. Oh, I gotta disagree. That was a dope scene, but it was like
my man is gonna have a hard time.
I
love this.
Listen. He knows we are making such a good point, Kyle. One scene of Vader, it was awesome in Rogue One, but that does not mirror up to what we saw in episode 3. When he turned that corner and he was walking down the alley just flinging people around with the Force and then dragging Obi-Wan through the fire and you could see the flames in his eyes, bro. That was such a monstrous moment.
I loved the walking down that street like Western style. but instead of like getting ready for a duel, he's just like murdering people as he goes along, just like you. Tell me something. No, forget
while
it.
we're
Like,
on the topic, Vader.
Yeah.
Greatest villain ever?
I
three.
have,
Top three.
yeah, it gotta be high.
Top
Gotta
three.
be high up
Who's
there.
your,
I
who's
know
your,
a lot of
who's your
people.
other three? Chat. Who's the greatest villain ever?
Oh, man,
Is it
that's so-
Joker? Is it Vader?
There's so many,
Dr.
so
Doom?
many adaptations.
For me, it's you're gonna hate this, but it's Reverse Flash.
Okay, that's
Wow.
a personal. That's personal though, right?
That's personal.
But
So
top three-
Reverse Flash, the Joker, and then Vader would be my top three.
Okay, no specific order.
No specific order.
Kyle, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking currently, but Vader is definitely high up there. I'm trying to think who trumps him though.
I think Vader is top. I think
I know who trumps him in the Obi-Wan series. Hans Gruber in Die Hard.
Hans Gruber in Die Hard. You're the worst, man.
I'm trying to keep it comic related at least.
Yeah, it definitely was. Joker, Doom, and Doomsday, my man. New World Order said. Chef says Thanos. We're sleeping on Thanos, Joker, and Vader. What I'm hearing continuously though is Joker, Vader. So
New World Doom is my number 4.
Doom is 4.
Victor Von Doom.
I like Omni-Man.
Omni-Man. I don't think he stretches across enough for me.
Okay.
In terms of enough reach right now. Given a couple years and a little bit more exposure, I think he could be up there.
His brutality in season 1 set him up there. People didn't even know who he was. People didn't know who Invincible was, didn't know who he was. They had one season of that show.
Yeah.
The roof.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off the beaten path and I'm gonna say Frieza as my number 3.
But see,
Frieza
I give you that a
3.
DBZ fan.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
So Frieza
I'll go perfect Cell over Frieza for me.
Yo, Perfect Cell is dope, but Frieza continues to
That's
be in this series for whatever reason, and he's always just like an asshole, man. That is like the antithesis of what you hate. Like Cell, I actually loved Cell, right? But Frieza, there's nothing you can love about Frieza. You're like this whiny mother with all of this power, right? So I'm gonna say Vader, Joker, Frieza. That's my 3.
My number 1, everybody should already know this, is Asajj Ventress from Star Wars.
Yo, hold on. Kyle. Matt, can I just say every auction that ever exists where Kyle shows up, he asks for that damn book.
I asked for Asajj Ventress.
One.
Yep.
Every auction that Kyle shows up, the man is a damn time traveler, and he chooses every damn week that I gotta work. So tell me about that. How can you know in advance the weeks I work, but then you're like, oh yeah, let me get on the show. And then sell books at a ridiculous price that I can't even buy. Like, it's not working.
Every time puts up monster books.
Let's see what the chat is saying. Hey, so eventually, Sans, we got to get Matt and I on a show together.
We definitely do.
Can't do it.
It might break the internet though. My man.
Can I say my second one?
Yeah.
Before, early on, when I would show up in chats, what was I always asking for?
Something killing the children.
By the horns.
By the horns, yes. Scrolls. Scrolls are my number 2. If they're if I could conglomerate them into a villain, and then I go Darth Vader, and then I'm saying honorable mention Omni-Man. So those are my top 3.
My man, Chef Harris, man. I put together some good air fried pork loin, man. Listen, man, I think I would make you proud with this beautiful piece here, right?
Heck yeah, get some Majin.
You said air fried to a chef. There's nothing proud.
Oh man, listen, I am not a chef, but I made a good piece of pork loin. Listen, So the Eternal movie is my number one villain. Yo, he said the whole Eternal movie. Yo,
Apollo, you are my man.
we gotta send Apollo
They took
something.
cast from Eternals and put them in Obi-Wan just to make it that much worse.
How is the rest
I'm
of
sending
it
Apollo
actually?
something. Apollo, send me your address, man. Hit me up. I'm sending you something. It's sans_collectibles on IG or
Apollo
at
It took me
gmail.com.
Apollo. It took me 4 days to finish that movie because I kept falling asleep trying to watch it. 4 whole days.
Speaking of falling asleep,
we're gonna talk about Moon Knight.
Miss Marvel.
Well, that's new.
I heard it was good, but I fell asleep on first episode. I was tired.
Okay.
Is it worth me rewatching?
No.
Only one that has seen it is this man right here. That's the only one I haven't caught up with.
Wait, time out. You like Doctor Strange? Go ahead and watch it. It'd be perfect for you.
Okay, I did like Doctor Strange. Yes. Shout out to the 16 plus people in here, man. Smash that like button. So you mentioned Moon Knight. I think we're on. Me and Kyle like Obi-Wan.
Yep.
This guy hates it. He hates it.
I don't hate it. I just hate.
He just hates the direction they're choosing.
It's the Last Jedi for me of TV. You took this character that at the end of Revenge of the Sith, who was so fierce to stop his brother, but had so much love for him, and you Luke Skywalkered him. You turned him into this whiny, depleted little, lack of a better word, I'm sorry, bitch that's gonna hide out and peep in Tom on Luke to make sure that he's raised okay, until his stepdad says go away, and then I'm sorry, I don't want to see these whiny, desperate Jedi. I mean, I got a whiny, desperate Yoda. I got a whiny, desperate Obi. I got a whiny, desperate Luke Skywalker. Come on.
I got a name, and you've already.
You need a gray Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Will this name save it for you, Quinlan Voss?
Ooh.
You need an unscrupulous Jedi, a Wolverine type, to come in and say, "Listen, F the F. I'm going in."
Quinlan Voss can do that. He's been light dark.
Right.
I'm just saying, man. I'm tired of it, dude. If you are such a man of the people and you see one of your Jedi brothers, dude, I'm grabbing my lightsaber and I'm about to something's getting cut in half.
Yeah, okay, that bothered me too.
Go hide in the sand. Oh, go home. The Jedi are dead. Brother, I just spent my whole childhood being a youngling.
Yeah, that was your life.
Laser beams, dodging Anakin Skywalker, trying to cut my best friends in half. And you want me to go hide in the desert? Are you
just a Star Wars fan because you like to complain just to complain? The greatest thing about Star Wars fans is that they love to complain. Is that just you, Matt? There will never be a good Star Wars movie for you going forward?
I disagree. The best movie is Empire Strikes Back, hands down.
Right. And that movie happened, 35 years ago? Will anything ever?
I liked Rogue One.
Okay,
yes.
Rogue One. There you go.
I like Mandalorian. I'm a huge Mandalorian. I hated Boba Fett.
I want to say I bring it up because Star Wars fans are notorious for literally shitting on every aspect of Star Wars.
Because there's so much more. There's so much written more.
There's so much good stuff and material in comics, books.
Yep. Novels, everything.
And then they go and they take this. It's like here, I'm going to give you the best pile of shit you've ever seen. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to hand it to you. It's going to be steaming. It's going to be warm. You can literally serve this on a plate and everyone's going to love it. And they take that pile of poop and they go over here and they throw grass in it and and just turn it to crap. You took crap and turned it to crap.
So overall, out of
what
10,
is that analogy?
Out of 10, where are you putting this Obi-Wan show, Matt?
Ooh. And he's do you want the seeing up to date? Because you're saying
I'm up to date at 5. I powered through 5. 5 was the best episode by far.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that then.
I'm saying, but even 5 disappointed me, and I don't want to say it. It's the same thing in 4, but with the other 4, but with action.
Yeah, that's fair.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Kyle, where are you, sir?
6 out of 10.
And that's see, look.
I'm a tough grader though,
and he likes it.
Yeah, and I like it. 6 out of 10 is a good grade in my opinion.
8 out of 10, y'all.
8 out of 10.
My man had 9 fingers up there at first.
No, I had
he had to pull that thumb in for good.
8 out of 10. Got it. So 4, 6, 8.
And ME says 6 out of 10.
ME knows how to count.
Reva, I agree with you, man. Horrible
Episode
editing.
4 was a terrible ending. Oh, terrible editing.
I agree.
You know what? I haven't really been focused on the whole
Reva Binks is in
cinematography and
here.
the editing. So that's something I usually go back and watch a whole series and look at like how everything really came out.
Yeah.
Because like the first run through, I'm really like kind of fanboying, right? You know, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, did that just happen? And at times you kind of miss some of the, and then you kind of go back and you watch it and you're like, damn, they could have did that better. Or what happened with this scene?
Cut everything out with Leia. Make it about Obi-Wan and Vader. Make it about Obi-Wan knowing that Vader's still alive. Make it about his guilt knowing that Leia died and all the younglings died. Make it Obi-Wan sitting in a cave, angry, miserable, pissed off, ready to go fight Vader. Build it up for a big old fight. Vader kicks his ass, and that leads into New Hope when he's ready to fight him again in a rematch.
Yeah, we don't see this very often. Agree with Matt. Damn.
That's a pretty awesome take, actually. I want to see Ahsoka stopping Vader from killing Obi-Wan. That would be so dope.
He's about to go. In.
He's about to go for the freaking kill strike, and then you hear Snoops.
So if we average it out, as a panel, we would
3
look at
out of
it as
10.
about a 6.
Yeah. We'll side with ME. Reva Binks, let us know what you think about the writing, because I have some serious beefs with the writing of the show, and as that name, like Reva Binks, elicits,
Reva and Georgia. Oh my God!
I know. I think they have some hot takes based on that. We have Apollo Crews, the wrestler, in here, and Reva Binks, that's the third sister in Jar Jar.
You know what? I would love to have seen a spinoff where Jar Jar Binks was a dark Sith.
Absolutely.
Oh my God!
If you see any lore on that, I think that's perfect.
About that, kill yourself for even thinking. Excuse me. Suicide is a very harmful thing, but that is just a term we say in terms of kick rocks, right? So
this is a satirical reference of
yes.
That. Yes. No, I totally. Mental health is important.
Right pocket for
yes. Let's go. Let's shift though, because Moon Knight ended since our last show.
That's true.
And that was a Marvel show that really polarized the community, right?
Yeah.
You had a bunch of people that loved the cinematography of it. You had the stars moving around, you know, kind of like it's fresh, it's new. You had a bunch of people who were like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
Like, I am not
bad.
Okay.
Listen, I am going to say Moon Knight was intriguing. It was a better. Did you guys see Legion?
Yes.
On FX.
Yes.
So Legion was this cerebral playground that took you like spinning. Like if you watched that show and you kind of partook in something of the THC levels or something of the, anything, you would have been lost because that thing will take your mind on so many. This was like Legion, but it kind of had a little bit of dull moments. Like Legion was just all cerebral, whereas this was like, hey, let me bring some fighting into it here and there. So I actually liked Moon Knight. The only thing I didn't like was whatchamacallit, in terms of I didn't like the actual villain himself, like Ethan Hawke. I just didn't like the character, but I like Moon Knight with all of the personalities and the mental health and everything else. I just felt like Ethan Hawke was corny until it came to like the last 2 or 3 episodes. I would have loved to see something more badass involved in it. But Matt, Kyle, what are your thoughts on Moon Knight?
I can go unless you're ready, Matt.
No, go for it, man.
I loved it. I loved Moon Knight, and it comes under. Let me explain my perspective. And this should enlighten you, at least from he removed himself. at least from my perspective, I don't read that much Marvel in terms of comics, so I know nothing of the comics. But I am a big psychology buff, and I loved the freaking acting in that. The ability, I don't look for plot. I don't look for story. Like, that's the last thing I look. I look for director choices. I come from an acting background. Like, I look at how the acting is done, the lighting choices. Like, I look at all that first before I look at the plot. The plot's bonkers. The plot in Obi-Wan's bonkers. The plot in Moon Knight was kind of like, what the heck's going on?
So
But the psychological aspect of it was awesome, and I absolutely
just like shiny turds. Just
yeah.
As long as they put the right reflection on the shadow
like
of the turd.
Yeah, exactly. So if they take a lot, it could be a big pile steaming shit, but if they take a good photo of that shit, I'm all about it.
Right. Because art is art, right? It's all in the eye of the beholder, man. I'd hold up that polished.
He's sitting in the psychiatric office and splitting his personality. That acting was freaking masterclass. They are screwed.
And you didn't know which personality he always was. You was like,
and he snapped. He snapped little things. If you pay attention closely,
you had to you had to go. That's what I mean by going back
So
and watching again, because you had to go back and say, wait, was that Jake? Right? Or you know, because everybody's like, oh, that's Mark right there. But meanwhile, he actually snapped into Jake at that point, and I was like, oh,
Matt, understand that after all this is my rating for it, is a 5. It was middle of the road for me as a show, but I loved certain aspects of it.
I'm just saying, when you bring in top talent, I will tell you, Oscar Isaac is one of the A+ actors in Marvel films.
Oh, yeah.
He actually trumps Robert Downey Jr. for me.
He made Dune very exciting for me.
His scale, his ability to act, what he actually brings to the table is...
I mean, I totally loved him as Apocalypse, right?
It was a Marvel film, right? That's what I said. I said that. Oh, that was Sony still. Sorry, I said Marvel.
Okay. But he's Oscar Isaac, right? And he should have raised the level of whatever the hell that was. That was a Fox film.
Fox film, Sony Fox. He's still the best actor that they have, hands down.
That was.
What would you rate the show? What do you think of Moon Knight?
What do you rate the show, Matt?
I stopped after episode 4. I watched the.
What? So you didn't even see the scene that I was describing. You didn't even see it.
So it took me on this Indiana Jones type of thing for.
Don't you dare disrespect Indiana Jones! I will come through this thing.
Oh my god! It's so when Indiana Jones.
Do not dare!
It took me on that Indiana Jones trope, and then came back out. I didn't like the. I love it. Shout out to Chef. The big hippo. The hippo was dope. I love how she was like, "Hi, yo." The voice choice, the actress, whoever that was, she played the hell out of it. That was amazing.
What timestamp was this? Hold on 1 second. I just got to get a timestamp on that. Hi.
That hi. It was very Jap anime.
Matt is seriously considering whether he's going to be around for episode 10 right now.
Matt's like, I'm retiring.
No, I have to be the neutral, the party in this, because again, and I'm not going to lie to you, there's a lot of bad coming out of DC right now. I'm sorry. You called Joker 2 a musical? Let me jump out that window right now.
You just opened a can of worms that has been festering for 2 days. Everything I've seen has said this is gonna be a musical. What the F?
Talks to add Lady Gaga to play Harley Quinn.
There was some dancing. I agree with you. There was some moving around in the first one, but it was kind of glorious showboating. Like I just killed somebody or I just did this crazy thing. Yeah. Why would you make this is this Chicago? Are we gonna watch Aladdin? The
only thing I could fathom, again, pulling the crap out of my head, his life in real is like raw. His mental thoughts are a musical because he just goes out of body and that's how he processes things. like almost
Okay.
like he sees what happens like a theatrical a thing before he does it. I don't even want to talk.
I would have just loved it if they just went all dark, like just sinister. Like you saw at the end of it, like he's running around in the mental hospital
with blood all
just
his feet.
Just take it into a dark, super dark tone. Like you got this dark Batman that just came out. You know, it set a tone for like kind of the DC, like real gritty. It wasn't the DCEU craziness where it's like you can't really see the action. It was just a dark tone. Set the Joker up somehow to get involved in that. That would have been really cool. But it's a different Joker.
Well, what if it's a joke that it's a musical?
It could be, right? It could be, which gets everyone all riled up, right? And gets everyone off their keister, like
or all talking about it. They just wanted people to talk about it. So let's just say it's a musical, and we'll just make the media go crazy. So
we didn't wrap up with Moon Knight because you set us off on a tangent.
You were a hit. Kyle was a hit. I was 50-50. I didn't finish it, so that's
like I said. I gave it a 5.
I was pretty spot on. I was pretty spot on.
Okay.
Hey, there we go, y'all. What y'all thought about it in the chat? Was Moon Knight a success? Was Moon Knight terrible? My man,
what did he say?
He said the Joker with Joaquin sucked.
This is why we can't even have this man on the show. Like, at least he's not bringing any culture to the show. I mean,
really badass. You have an invite to join us for episode 10, our 10th episode. We want to see you in person here, opposing the one, the only Matt Last Level Comics.
That's really what we need on this show, at least specifically this show. I've been agreeing with Sans on pretty much everything. We need another person here to knock Matt down another level. He's going to be literally the last level comics.
So given where we are with Disney Plus, given where we are with, well, hold on, let's go to The Boys real quick.
Okay.
Season 3, The Boys started off with a bang. But is it just like over the top, man? Like I literally like watched episode 1 and I was like, God damn, I can't. Oh, my stomach. Like there's so much cringe-worthy stuff in The Boys where so much so that I've heard women say, I just can't watch it. Like, is it all guy TV at this point in time?
I just think it's what Seth Rogen always wanted to do with the superfood pill, and I love it. We can't say that because Peacemaker tried to do the same thing the boys did, but Peacemaker fell short.
Did it?
I don't like John Cena, so you can't sell me anything with John Cena in it.
Okay, wait. Let's finish The Boys and then we'll go into Peacemaker.
Right, because Peacemaker was a success.
The Boys are between you two because I have not seen it, but I will gladly jump into Peacemaker.
All right, so Kyle, imagine you are watching The Boys, and you know people love who they love, right? This is Pride Month. It is what it is. But Absolutely. You have a guy who shrinks like Ant-Man and goes inside of a urethra, and sneezes and turns into a large dude again, and destroys his lover. It became
so it is over the top. Gotcha.
Right. It became this like, God, what am I like? Did you have to go that far? Like
because they tried to be like the boys.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Let me just say, it is one of those shows where they take it to a level of like they expose everything that's crazy about the world right now, right? Like you see like hatred in the world, they have that. You see kind of like megalomaniacs. Like it is just what happens if you put someone crazy in power, that unchecked power. Like it is one of those shows where you're just like, oh, you know what? I can't watch this. This is too real right now. Let me just turn the channel. But Matt, what are you giving this show right now?
7 out of 10. I love it.
7 out of 10.
It's my I know I'm gonna see shit, but I just fucking love it. And I'm sorry, I love Billy Butcher. Kyle Urban is just like, I just love his acting. I love his rawness. And I mean I'm dying for episode 6, Hero Gasm. And
Yo,
again,
Herogasm is going to be crazy.
I've read Dear Becky and I've read Herogasm, so I can only imagine where this show's going.
And they brought my man Soldier Boy Jason Ackles in for season 3, and I love it, man. I can sit there and watch The Boys any day of the week. You put on Moon Knight, you put on Miss Marvel, and I feel like I need to go get my son because I'm watching a movie for 11-year-olds.
But is The Boys a show for women? Well,
yes. Women with a sense of humor.
You think so? As women,
so if you're talking about your high class Texas California rodeo drive woman, no, don't even take her to The Boys. But if you're talking to like somebody that actually has a sense of humor and can understand that, I'm married or dating a nerd who likes this stuff, she'd love it.
My gamer friend that talks shit to me all the time, yeah, she's gonna love it.
Yeah.
What I hear from ladies on the job or just in the community is just too over the top. It is all kind of like,
and let me
too crazy at this point.
Okay, so you ask him, you say, "Oh, The Boys is over the top." You say, "Yeah." What? How many episodes of Jersey Shore did you watch? And when they tell you, "Oh, I saw them all," I said, "So you can watch some Italian people in Jersey Shore who are DTF, but you won't watch
Bachelor in Paradise is a great show. You don't knock that Bachelor in Paradise. That is hilarious.
As a satirical comedy, I will jump on that statement. But as an actual show that has good content, hell no.
So before we move on to a different arena, let's talk about the impact of these shows on the comics. Where do you see The Boys?
Can we talk about Peacemaker though?
Yeah. Let's talk Peacemaker real quick.
Real fast.
What's your thoughts, Kyle?
So here's what I'm gonna do. Sans, I've been standing on this side, hanging out with Sans. Peacemaker was garbage, and John Cena sucks as an actor. I'm on Matt's side for this one. So yeah, you get your props, man. I loathed that show. I didn't see the point of it. It was unnecessary. It seemed pointless.
They took a stab at The Boys. That's all they did. They tried to copy The Boys.
It's like, hey, I like the 80s, and you should like the 80s because the 80s was awesome. Let's rock out.
Let's rock out.
But see, the difference is if they had someone other than John Cena, I think it would be really good.
I think so too. Yeah,
John Cena was the only holdup for you on Peacekeeper.
Yeah. Same with Suicide Squad. It was a good movie overall. I just didn't like
Suicide Squad, the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like that one.
John Cena in the Marine, though. Good on you, John Cena. That was awesome. Like John Cena in the movie The Marine.
He was in the movie theater and the guy was going at him. I think it was with Amy Schumer. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm giving John Cena a pass, man. He's improving, but I know what you mean, Matt.
Cool. What do you guys think real fast, and then we'll go to what Sans just
I gave
brought up.
Peacemaker a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 3. Yeah, I know it's super low. I watched it all and I just couldn't. And like I've had talks on other channels with it too, and everybody's like, "What are you thinking, dude?" And I'm like, "It's just my opinion." I mean, so I did not like Peacemaker. I couldn't find any like, except for.
How could you hate Eagly, man? Eagly was amazing.
Eagly was no, not at all. Okay, so my favorite scene of Peacemaker was when he's moving the trash can outside the with all the sheriffs in the picnic area, and he's like struggling with the trash can, trying to like get it over. He's like, "Oh, this is really freaking heavy," and then he picks it up and throws it. That scene was so awkward. And the what is his name? What is the character name? Vigilante, yes. And he throws the trash can at the thing to break the window to get arrested, just so that he could go in and talk shit to the racist people. And it was just like, what the fuck? It was so awkward and so cringeworthy. I loved that scene. But yeah, overall 3. But that scene was amazing. And Vigilante as a character is awesome.
The movie you were referring to was Trainwreck.
Oh yeah.
But I liked him better and the only movie I could stand him in was in Blockers.
What's Blockers?
Where they had to butt chug the beer.
Oh,
yes, Blockers was hilarious. It reminded me of Neighbors. Blockers and Neighbors were just up
What-
there with funny.
Matt, what's your opinion of Peacemaker?
I couldn't watch. I didn't watch one episode.
Oh, really? Okay. Jesus.
Cena just completely ended it for him.
Non-qualified answer then.
All
Yeah,
right,
All right, so
that
Sam,
makes sense.
Sam,
So,
can you ask that question again?
which one? Oh, about the comics, the impact
Yep.
on comics.
Yep.
So now that we've had the show or all of these shows, where are we in terms of the impact on the comic, whether it be secondary market or sustainable value, whether it be comics or collectibles, Funkos, whatever it is? What do you see as gaining ground, losing ground, or just no impact whatsoever? Moon Knight, what are your thoughts?
Stale. I think until they bring him into a Marvel movie, he's not gonna escalate. You saw Moon Knight #1 leading up to the series peak. I would say it was getting higher than its value, but after episode 1-2, it took a heavy drop. It went back down to what it was. So yeah.
My issue is I think once the speculators felt like they couldn't make their money off of it, they dumped that product, right? And that's how. But I still think that Moon Knight has raised its level to where it's no longer going to be kind of like where it was 5 years ago, right?
But listen, only Werewolf by Night 32 has raised its level. Any other Moon Knight #1, Red Scarlet, nothing else has gained other than Werewolf by Night 32.
Yeah,
So
everything else has come back crashing down, which
even the variants, like they've amazing art, but their values,
the Stephen Platts, all of them. What are your thoughts on kind of the market in that regard, Kyle?
With bringing more people into understanding that there is such like a diverse storytelling of the character, I think that it was beneficial. Bring more working at a comic shop, people would call in and be like, "Hey, do you have the Moon Knight run or stuff?" Like it was like people were buying like the Omnibuy just so that they could get like immersed in the story, so that they could get more. So I love that. That's what brings people into comics, and this would be a good transition into like cons and stuff like that, because like people go for that stuff, and it's fun to expand the community and have people that didn't know this character existed until the show, and then it becomes their favorite character ever. And I think that's awesome.
But I feel like all TV and all movies do that.
They all take that. They all take that freaking wave though.
But some
sustain though. Like Iron Man.
If you look at Miles was like this, right? Skyrocket, kind of level. And then what happened recently? Spot announcement, and it's like
freaking nuts.
So I don't think Miles is ever coming back down. Whereas you get a Moon Knight, or even a lot of these other, and it happens more typically with these kind of one-off shows, where you'll get introduced to a character, they'll spike for a minute, and then they nosedive completely. Even if the show was good, it's like out of sight, out of mind. But if the show was bad, it's completely done for the book. Like someone said earlier, Kirby work on Eternal will forever be what they're worth, right? It's Jack Kirby. But so many people got invested in Eternals for the movie and what it meant in terms of cosmic introduction to Marvel phase 3.5, 4, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was a setup. Yeah.
So it just kind of just destroyed everything from that standpoint. The Falcon books crashed. I think they did. I think they came back down to Earth.
Okay.
You know, what was the biggest crash in a big series? American Chavez.
American Chavez, yeah.
That hit the spec on her, and even all the spec on Doctor Strange. That hit the ground so fast it was like a kamikaze plane.
Why do you think that was? Was it just because of the way the movie was, or?
So listen, from my perspective, you cannot hype a movie up called the Multiverse of Madness, and the only multiverse they go to is one, and they have a 1-minute sizzle reel of them going through 5 different universes with no actual interaction, when they could have spent that wasted 45 minutes of pointless banter in the middle of it and actually went to different multiverses and found other characters that have had to deal with Wanda and give them different pieces of information on how they could stop her. And it would have drawn in so many different characters and so much hype.
But here's the thing. I also heard that they made changes, right? Because
I heard they made tons of changes.
Mordo was supposed to die in the beginning.
Yep.
And maybe it would have been Brother Voodoo that showed up at the door when they went to the other sanctum, right? It would have been such a different movie had that happened. Like you said, there was opportunity. I loved the Wanda character in that, though. I'll tell you that. Wanda's acting, Wanda's character, the whole realization that I am the dark force of all of this and owning it. I loved it.
Who'd have thunk, man? An Olsen twin.
Right. Not a twin.
Not twin. A
sister, though. Yes.
But they missed an opportunity. Yeah. Yes, she did awesome. She did great. But what would have been even better? X-Men are coming. Why couldn't they have had her reading the Darkhold and have Mephisto kind of playing the strings? Like, they had so much opportunity. Same thing with Obi-Wan. You have this pile of amazing crap, and you don't deliver. That's my problem. No one does it. And look, I don't care if I'm a DC fanboy. What? They don't deliver on what they have going on.
Warcraft.
Again, amazing content. Didn't deliver.
Awesome, and then just flop. I'm like, oh, come on, man! You have all this. You have people.
Look, you're gonna call me crazy. You want to know what the only franchise that has delivered when they've had something?
Guardians,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters
3. Was awesome. Ghostbusters 3.
Afterlife was really good.
And delivered on it.
Afterlife was really good. With regards to multiverse and what it sets up going forward.
Yeah.
Do we see Kang? Do we see something different? What
you have to see Kang, but they're drawing it out. Like
they're drawing it out.
Kang should have made little bits and pieces throughout all this. Like he should have went to a multiverse where Kang was the conqueror, and
that's what I was hoping to see.
They were like, you don't got to worry about Wanda. Kang is your bigger issue. He's going to take over everything, and he's like, who's like? He didn't even have to know he is. Who's Kang? And then right at that moment, have Wanda come in, and then he pulls into another universe. Like they just missed the buck, and they made it boring. I'm sorry. Like the movie, other than the ending and the very beginning, the movie was boring, and it started with such a jump. If you did not watch What If, like say you never invested in the Disney Plus series, you never watched What If, you never understood the Watcher, you never understood the dark three-eyed Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
You knew nothing. Like if my wife watched that movie, and my wife has seen probably almost all the Marvel, she would have no idea. She's never seen What If though. Like she'll watch the movies, but she doesn't invest in the TV series.
And speaking of What If, Peggy Carter dies in this. So much controversy about Peggy Carter and her future has been going on because basically you show up, you die, Black Bolt, Peggy Carter. Are the Inhumans just completely done now? Right? TV show that fails, you get killed off in one scene. Like what's the future of Monica Rambeau or Spectrum or whoever? Like
honestly, I have to agree with New World. They even fucked up Reed Richards. I was so excited to see my man playing Reed Richards, and quite frankly, he came off like an idiot.
Yeah.
Again, I don't get it. Like you are like the top of the top delivering movies, and like phase 1, Marvel, amazing. Phase 2, not so bad. Phase 3, amazing. They put some really stuff together. Phase 4 of Marvel has been absolute dog poop. Everything. And I don't see any silver lining. I don't have any high expectations for Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't have any expectations for Guardians.
I have expectations for Thor.
I want to see. That's what I'm holding out hope for.
They're gonna butcher the God Butcher. They're gonna butcher his backstory. They're gonna make him horrible, and they're gonna ruin another great talent like Oscar Isaac.
We can do our picks for both of those. We can do our picks.
We did them.
Yes.
We did them.
We'll do our pick.
We're all straight. We're all straight hits on Thor and Love and Thunder. But honestly, I want to change mine to flop.
Oh, Look, Billy said hard pass on Thor.
Interesting.
Damn, when him and Matt are green, the world is out of order. Right? The world is out of order.
It's just fanfare. That's all it is. It's not good story. It's just comedy fanfare. And again, this is why I say that there's a big distinction between Marvel and DC. Marvel does fanfare and plays to the teenager level. DC just butchers their characters but creates good, robust stories.
Yeah,
there we go.
I think that's a take that I can jump on any day of the week. Sans, can I just say one thing? I want to address one thing that Sans said. Can we just get Monica Rambeau? Like, that would be awesome. Like, please, like, get rid of this Brie Larson bullshit. Give me Monica Rambeau and just like send it. Just give me a full send on Monica Rambeau. I'm jumping on board. I would love that. So, just wanted to shout that out. But I do agree with what Matt said.
What comics are in like we're, if you're looking at comics and you want your comics to gain value, should you be paying attention to the shows, to the MCU, to the DCU? Should you be paying attention to any of that, or should you just look at Silver? Should you just look at Spec that is not going to die regardless of movie? What should you do?
Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four, and early X-Men. That's the three things you should be looking for right now. If you want to buy in, and some of them are too late, Silver Surfer hasn't popped yet. He's got to come. He's going to be huge. Fantastic Four was teased. You know Doctor Doom's coming. You know the Fantastic Four movie's coming. Get on it now. And again, X-Men's coming. Any early X-Men is going to be good until that movie builds up. So,
all right, I got a poll for the chat.
Yeah.
X-Men 1 and a 9-0, or Ultimate Fallout 4, the 1 in 25 and a 9-8.
Ultimate Fallout 4, hands down.
What is your and why? And let me ask that to the chat as well. X-Men 1 and a 9-0, or Ultimate Fallout 4, the 1 in 25 and a 9-8. Chat, what are your thoughts? Look, Da Vinci said GSX1. Why'd you say Ultimate Fallout 4, Matt?
So, Da Vinci, on a good day, I would agree with you anyway. You're never going to surpass X-Men #1. But the way that these movies are going, they are going to butcher that book. It is at its peak. It's going to eventually go down. I feel it in my gut, and time has portrayed that. It's got the hype that it's coming to Marvel, but unless they really do something good with X-Men, that book is going to lose value. Where Ultimate Fallout 4 has not only the comic community, it has, like, almost, I hate to say this, the entire world behind this character. The fact that it has so much life, so much breath, so much culture in this character that needs to come to the Marvel Cinematic Universe to just, like, same thing they did with America Chavez. She was the life and breath of adding additional culture to the Marvel thing, but they missed the mark. They will not do it with Miles Morales. They can't do it with Miles Morales. And quite frankly, he's been escalating this off of video games and animated movies, and he's already reached the top.
Yeah, he hasn't even shown up.
So that is why Ultimate Fallout 4 will be, if not up there someday. And I don't say it'll be as high as Amazing Fantasy 15, but it will be up there as one of the grail of all grails.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the chat say a lot of miles, y'all. A lot of miles. What are you thinking, Kyle?
Bro, you can't ask me that. Get out of here, Sans.
Listen, this debate came up. I think New World Order asked this question, man. X-Men 1 or Miles Ultimate Fallout 4, 1 in 25.
Biggie was giving me crap for having the book, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and rightfully so. There's a lot of people that will take X-Men 1. And I agree. I think what Matt said is X-Men 1 is at its peak. Can it go up a little bit more? Yes. I just feel like Miles is on a trajectory where it's going to be able to continue to skyrocket, man. He hasn't even made a cinematic debut in terms of live action. And that book, those books, Miles related, are all kind of like you can buy any Miles run and sell it on any day, anytime. it's gonna sell. Like Miles is just Miles.
Yep.
But X-Men 1, it's a hard to attain key. I would definitely get it. I'm not saying it's not worth it. Look, X-Men 1, I'm stubborn. I hear you, Tone.
I hear you, man. Like I said, on any other day, I would 100% agree with you. No question.
Shutterduck said X-Men 1 too.
But look at William. William said when the 1 in 25 will double, triple, or more when he goes live action.
Oh, absolutely.
It has the ability to kind of eclipse things that it's one of those modern grails that just kind of like you really don't put any limits on it right now.
It literally tripled based on Spider-Verse 2. And
Right.
what I want to say is I was holding up six times. That's how many times I've watched Into the Spider-Verse as a movie.
It tripled on video games.
I must have watched that movie like
hold on, no,
30 times.
is how many times I've played through the video game. Like it's so good. It's such good content. They're hitting the mark on everything that they do. I love it.
It is needed for TV. Like same way I feel. And look, I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he is probably the best Superman we've ever had. But I will tell you this.
Losing them, right?
Huh? But I will tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
If they have Michael B. Jordan as Superman, I'm there day one. My man, Michael B. Jordan as
I don't know, man. Michael B. Jordan to me sometimes is one tracked as an actor. I need to see some range from him. Hero wise, he plays good hero. But we on that comic character. Yeah. So not 2021, 2022. We just brought up comic character spec. We brought up Miles versus X-Men. We got all of this, these movies that where's the future of this next gen? Is Elsa Bloodstone the next character everybody needs to be prepared for? Is Marvel horror, meaning Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, even Frankenstein, all of these, is that where comic collectors need to be right now?
No, honestly, I feel like they're going to be a dime a dozen. I feel like right now, modern, if you pick it up day one, great. It's read it, you get a good story, but I wouldn't there's no blue chips coming out of Marvel right now, or modern, nothing.
But from an old school, I mean, like Legion of Monsters 28, right? Or
I mean, it's a good read, but it's not going to. I mean, if you're into it, read it, get it. But
Marvel
it's not,
Spotlight 5, Ghost Rider #1.
Ghost Rider, again, it was spec to be in Multiverse of Madness. Nothing. So if you jumped on that train, you got burnt.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree. The things you got to rely on right now: Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, and X-Men. That's your hope for Marvel. Silver Age still got legs.
Got it. Kyle, what are your thoughts in terms? My man Adrian said Archie is the next. Hey, listen, Afterlife.
Get him out of here.
Afterlife. Seriously,
get him out of here.
Afterlife. Archie Afterlife is on my radar.
Where you at, Adrian? Get on camera.
Kyle, what's going on with the indie market, Kyle?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm happy that you rephrased that because I like, for those of you who don't know what I do parody content on YouTube, and I was going to troll the crap out of this question, but Sans took it in a direction where I have to take it seriously. So I appreciate that, because I was going to say scrolls all day. But in terms of indie market, I want to ask one question. First appearances. Do you ever gauge first appearances from like independent books? Or where do you draw that line? Like when a run like Spawn or Invincible comes out, you have so much content that you have to gauge first appearances.
Right. But
then like a shorter run, like Something Is Killing the Children, they're still gauging first appearances of certain characters just because of the hype behind the book. And I find that super fascinating, because if we're talking specking on independent comic books is all based around the shows and the what's optioning of shows, and
whether or not it's going to be option.
Mm-hmm.
So Something Killing the Children
Yep.
Zero, all of these shows that you hear, and Zero
Absolutely.
is DC, right?
Yeah.
But you heard it was just optioned by 50 cents. And everything 50 Cent does
Is
on Stars just took off, right? So you
pretty
can
decent.
imagine
Yeah.
this could be a decent spec to be
They're a
involved.
huge company too. They buy up freaking other companies as like a pastime. But what I'm saying in the aspect of like, where do you draw the line with specking on indie books based on, because the only thing I want to say is when something is optioned, it's like a $50,000 check that they write to the creators so that they can take the creative rights and use them as they wish going forward.
And
That's what
they have
is.
first access to doing something.
Other media things
down,
like TV shows or movies. That's what that is, and that drives our market because it takes comics and takes them and puts them into another media platform, and you get more immersed into the lore, and you get to see your favorite actors show up on it, and
but
it's just
William,
yeah.
Is 6 still that much in demand, or has that hype train died completely? Because I'll say this.
They're milking it, man.
No,
they're literally milking it.
They're pulling blood from a stone. They ain't milking it. They're trying to get every last drop they can.
House of Slaughter, and they're continuing with the series as
there was
basically
nothing left to that story. They should have ended it at 15 and went on about their business. It was at a pinnacle.
Yeah.
And sure, you could have came back and did like a origin story, like a one shot or
spin
something.
Off of the different houses.
Yes, that would have been fantastic. But House of Slaughter, like, completely flopped.
It's an anthology in an aspect. It's like an anthology of miniseries where they're gonna go like, we're gonna talk about this house, then we're gonna talk about this house, then we're gonna talk about this house.
But what I also notice is that when they take these breaks, and this is where I have a problem with Tinian.
Okay.
Because he's spreading himself so thin. And sorry, guys, we're kind of on different.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
Go ahead and say what you're going to say, and then I'll bring it back.
But Tinian has spread himself so thin, right? With you had Nice House on the Lake, you have Something Is Killing the Children, Department of Truth, and House of Slaughter, right? And now you got The Closet. There's so many things he's doing. When you put a pause on Something Is Killing the Children, you completely stop the momentum of that book. Same with Nice House on the Lake. Like, you don't hear anybody talking about any of that. Those
the finish.
And it was like those books were nuclear when he first came out, and now it's like, okay, well, what is The Closet, right? That book right there, it was untouchable, just like a Sick #1, untouchable. Now it's like, yeah, that's Something That's Killing Children #1. It's gonna remain a grail.
Yeah, it'll remain up there. I mean, they used to be going for like $1,000. I've seen them now come down about 600 in a 9.8.
Yeah, I've seen 700, 650, 700, and that I never thought I would see that day, right? Because the book was supposed to go nuclear because it got option news and then show was coming, but now you don't know what's happening with Netflix. You don't know what's going on. But just to tie it all back up is Tinian's ability to tell so many stories has weakened his product. Like, it's like, why not just sink all of your what did the one Dark Lord do? He synced all of his malice into the one ring.
I don't know if it's money. I honestly I don't think it's money, to be honest.
It's about creator owned content, and when you have creator owned content, you get most of the money.
Yes,
is what I'm saying. So in that aspect, he's more focused on Substack than he is Something Is Killing the Children. His
Substack isn't doing good.
I know.
It is not doing good at all. Like,
what is coming out of Substack?
Thousands of subscriptions.
He's only had one of his Substack stories that has actually made it to print. Yep. One.
Why wasn't The Closet like out of Substack then? Like, what is going on with that? That is the questions I would ask, because
absolutely, yeah.
So really, I think people jumped on Substack for the inclusivity of the items that they were going to get. They were going to get the signed book. They were going to get the Christmas cards. They were going to get first grabs. But quite frankly, they would buy those one-offs thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to get it, and everyone's going to want it. And people just don't want it.
Yeah.
So they're not going because they appreciated the writing, they appreciated the book, they appreciated the artistic style. They were going to kind of line their pockets on the value and what they were getting out of it. And when that value dropped, they dropped.
That's
And
fair.
That's what's
Fair,
crazy.
fair. Yeah.
So what I see across the indie market, man, is like indies were riding high. It was a new frontier in terms of being able to tell a different style of story. It didn't have to be superhero. It could be whatever
anything you wanted, man.
Yep.
Insert adjective here that you have it. You have a story.
What happened? Was it just the money dried up? Was it people are no longer
I've never
in the house and they don't want to read anymore?
I've never sold an indie book. I've never sold an indie book above cover price. It's because it's for the fan. I mean, I personally, I guess, but like it's inclusive storytelling. Like you spec on an indie book, you're specking because like you like the artist, you like the writer, you like the storytelling that they send. Like it's more about what actually makes the story good rather than who showed up in it, if that makes sense.
So Stray Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's fast forward to Grimm.
Okay.
Stray Dogs was this kind of nuclear missile, same with Animal Castle, right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to dilute Stray Dogs? Was it
Halloween ended?
What'd you say?
Halloween ended.
Halloween ended. So many horror covers, right?
And I'm being honest with you, but they stopped it at the right point. They don't have Stray Dogs 7, 8, 9, 10. They did the miniseries, they stopped it, and they're good.
But
they're
why is the value? Why is the value dip though? Is my question.
Because it's the flavor of the month.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but you know, until Stray Dogs comes into like an All Dogs Go to Heaven animated series, like kind of concept, it's not going to pick back up because it doesn't have the Marvel backing to keep shoving it down the throats. You don't see it on your top pickups. You don't see it on Cover Price. You don't see it on Key Comic Collector, where Marvel and DC books are constantly there in your face. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
Yeah.
Indie books are just like Kyle said, you get them for the read, you get them for the artist, you get them for the story. But once you've read that story, that book sits. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you share it with each other, and then people try to capitalize on top of that, but it only can go so far. So the trajectory of it is, if it's good, then it sells. But then it gets to a point where the oversaturation of different prints and exclusive covers makes it accessible to a wider audience. And when I put my hands up on your hip, when I dip, you dip, we dip.
DJ in the building.
Thank you, Spider Girl.
Fast forward to Grimm then, right?
Yes, go ahead.
We see this new indie run, hyped as the next Something is Killing the Children.
Boom Studios, same
Studios, way more print count, but yet it's doing something similar. Is it the art? Is it the writing? Does it have legs? What is going on with Grimm in a sense that people are intrigued by this series when they know that the print count is high, that it can't be anywhere near in terms of Something is Killing the Children the way the that thing took off. But why is there this intrigue with Grimm?
I'll say some boom titles. Proctor Valley Road. Eve.
Oh my gosh.
Berserker.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter what comes out of the thing. It all follows like there's a boom diagram. It gets hyped by basically everybody because the art's pretty damn
Richie,
good.
man.
Ross Richie, man.
He's a beast.
He's the Donnie Cates of like hype machine.
Ross Richie, man. He knows how to sell product much better than that Bad Ideas guy, I would say. But
we're already at an hour 14, man. Don't throw in Bad Idea because I got lots of things to say about Bad Idea.
Was it really a bad idea? But truly, like, I feel like people take their ideas and they just, instead of honing in on what worked, They kind of dilute the market and give you 50 million things.
Yes.
Whereas Bad Idea, like when he dropped off those first comics to shops, people were like, "Yo, what is this?" It was selling for $900.
Yep.
And then
Look
that
at Primer Blue. Primer Blue doing
yes,
something similar. Yeah.
yes.
It's about trigger words, exclusivity, print run, you name it. Like literally, insert rarity here. Like that's what drives the market. Is like, oh well, I can't get this, so I got to figure out how I can get it, and the only way that I can get it is to pay a higher price. And it's just unfortunate, but at the same time, if you're investing in a story that you like and an art that you like, go for it, because we as a community set those prices.
But by investing, we mean buy-in at the ground level. We don't mean
then go to Kickstarter.
right.
Go to Kickstarter and GoFundMe
and buy the book at $100.
Yeah,
and thinking that it's going to be $1,000 tomorrow.
And I hate to say it, but Sans, you and I are living proof. The hunger, man. The hunger, straight up.
Yes.
No publisher, nothing. They did it through a Kickstarter. They're fully funded for book number 2, and it was funded in less than 12 hours. So, I mean, again, if you have a good product with good people backing it, good artists working on it, the fans will come and get the book. Now, do I see that book being like a blue chip book? No, but for the fact that it has a great story, it's got a semi-original content. I mean, everyone's done some form of a virus zombie outbreak concept. We don't know what it is yet. That lore is keeping us interested. But again, you don't need big name publishers to create a big name. Hellcrow from Javon.
Listen, my man Javon
crushed it.
We just have him on our show. But look at this right here.
I love this comment from Tacoma.
Does Kanto, Bitterroot, or any of these have legs? Like, is it what is wrong? Like, in a sense of where we were a year ago, and I know you kind of have like an economic shift at times. You have
that's true. Things. Yeah. We go through different stuff. Yeah,
but Kanto was supposed to be
so good.
Bitterroot as well. Like
Bitterroot is awesome,
right? And it's like you hear that, but why are we not seeing like kind of like the golden age of these indies? Like it was a golden age of indies, but I feel like it's fallen off a cliff. We hit a golden age.
It lasted a year and a half, Sam.
Yes,
it lasted a year and a half where it was like, this shit is awesome. Why haven't I not seen this before?
Right.
Where have I been? Like
saying, I'm reading comic books again because of indie comics.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was the slogan. Like, why are you back into comics? Because of indie comics. And now it is just like, what happened to those people? Are they no longer reading comics? Have they gone to Marvel, DC? Or, did the world just change again?
I want to get in trouble right now, so I'm about this far in.
Let's see. So, I'm down here. I'm down here as well.
It depends on the story, and it depends on how it is pitched to different multimedia companies. So, like, let's take Silver Coin. Silver Coin. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Silver Coin is being pitched to Netflix right now.
Got it.
I'm just saying, and it takes different stories because you pull those content from the independent market and you see what hits, but then some stuff doesn't make it. It'll be optioned. I have some books that were optioned like years and years ago. Take Stranger Comics. Stranger Comics went into an HBO deal in 2016?
Yes.
And we still haven't seen it. But then Sebastian has actually created like this whole community of stuff. Like I think that's the answer is the community that backs an independent book from a Kickstarter going forward is that community that's going to perpetuate it when it actually turns into something else like a video game or a TV series or a movie. Mm-hmm. So it's just the progression of the fan base.
It's so interesting, man, that you say that. Like when you mention the video game, it has to cross over more than just the comics in order for it to kind of have legs, because when we talk about a Miles or we talk about some of these other characters like Spider-Gwen and Miles are now on like Disney HD, right? Or Disney XD, where you can actually see them in small characters, where they're feeding them to children, ages 5 and up now. So they know Miles Morales, they know, Spider-Gwen, and they know Peter as 3 different spiders, as opposed to just, there's nothing that's really feeding the indie market beyond just the comics.
I will say this, that, okay, well, first off, to address what you actually said, comic books don't have a good marketing campaign. When's the last time you were driving down the freeway and you saw like Grimm #3 releases and like like you don't see that kind of stuff. You don't see the advertising campaigns for it. But yet these big companies like Marvel and DC are actually pulling their content from the comics. And other Netflix is pulling things, and HBO and Peacock and Paramount, and the list goes on with all the streaming services, but they're pulling their content from it.
Has the failure of, say, a Y the Last Man or some of these other shows,
how about
Jupiter's Legacy?
Thank you. That's the one I was looking for.
Yeah. Has the failure of those shows impacted the ability for people to, because a lot of this takes off when the investors, like Liz says, investors are buying it. A lot of it takes off because they hear, oh, there's going to be a show. It's a Mark Millar show, or it's going to be if the failure of Netflix or these other series, Hulu, to produce good content happens, are we just at a loss? And should we not expect these indie books to necessarily rise? Like my man Tacoma says, there'll never be another Walking Dead, and people keep trying to look for that. Yep. Is that the quote? Is that the quote to end all quotes? There'll never be another Walking Dead, and everyone is looking for it. Is that where we are?
Yeah, and that goes back to Tacoma's earlier concept. He named a bunch of awesome boom titles. And it's just like, this is the next this and the next this and the next this, and the list goes on. If I were to give any kind of advice to somebody who is investing in independent comic books, I would say that you better be a reader, and you better have a good eye for books, and you better be able to have the capital to be investing in the books and holding them until that time comes. Because this golden age that took like a year and a half of just crazy content. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, Carmen, We Live, Stray Dogs, Nottingham. There was so much good stuff that came out.
We could name off like 50 books right now that were like killing it, like literally.
Hold on to those books, because they're not taking a market right now, but they will, because they're good. They're good, and they will be pitched, and the creators behind it will support it. But it takes time. This stuff takes time to create these things. You want to try to make an animated series? Spider-Verse 2 just got pushed back like what, a year? Because they're still freaking animating for it. It takes
Matt,
time.
Matt?
No. My focus is here. I just the business world never stops, and of course, for those of you that know that I work for a hospital, and they feel like they could get me at any time. They called me at 1:30 the other night, so it's always something. But I'm listening in this here, Kyle. I agree with you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to
agree with you. Yeah,
cool. I'm just trying to like be realistic with your expectations when you're investing in indie books. Like, straight up, if you want to make money in the comics, you buy older books, the stuff that has been around.
So let's talk then, Kyle.
Yeah.
Because about 5-6 months ago, we had NFT as a
we did.
topic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
NFT is taking a big hit right now.
Yep.
Coin, NFT, whatever it is. Is that the same thing that's happening with the indie market? Are those things tied together? It's kind of like the legs around you buying NFTs or you buying investing in indie. You really have to just believe and hold forever, because you lose if you sell right now. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, this is not the time to sell, man. There's a reason why I'm so hot on your auctions, man, because I'm taking hits. Like that's the thing. But
it all depends on how much you bought into it, right?
correct.
If you bought those books,
what was your entry
10
price?
years ago and kept buying those books, if your investment on a 1 in 25 was $50 and you were able to get, instead of $750, you got $550, right? The hit might have been, damn, that the book is dipped, I missed. But what it also proves is buy in at the ground level.
You're a
Buy the dip
smart,
like
you're a
Vince
smart
said,
man. You are a
right?
smart man. Yep.
Buy in at
absolutely.
the
There you
ground
go.
level, buy the dip. You cannot necessarily control what the market's going to do. But if you bought it for $5 and it went up to $100 and now it's back down to 60 and you sell it, you're still up what, $55 over where you spent. So so you have to play that game, because no one survives off of one main source of income anymore, unless you're the entrepreneur that created X business, right? But if you're Joe the plumber, your plumber business is X. You need multiple stream of incomes, man. A lot of people are making money off of selling comics, selling their comics, buying and flipping comics, and that industry is where it is. We have a lot of people who are making this a business, a side hustle. And so it is one of those things where you have to be a businessman about it as well. You can't.
Sans is in my head right now. I'm just so everybody knows, I am a plumber. I have a C36 plumbing license. I just finished plumbing today, and then I started this show, and I sell comics.
Kyle, you're full of shit, Kyle.
I'm not joshing you. But I can prove myself. I'll send you a picture of my business. Actually, I got it right here. Here we go. Here's my
shout out to Thorough.
So Kyle didn't have a business license. I'm sorry, he couldn't make it. He was trying to print that off of his Epson printer.
Thank you for saving me. Like I said, we're not believing anything I say because I'm this far in. So,
shout out to my man
there
Thorough.
is a bottom.
Make sure you guys are checking out the big homie Thorough.
That,
Y'all, we are coming up close to the end of the show, but we want to know also about future content, what you guys are looking for to see on this show, man. We have so much fun just coming together, powwowing, and
we didn't even get to talk about like the big summer cons. We
got so much more to come. That's the last
that's
one
true.
we're gonna dive into.
We had 5 topics to talk about.
We only did like 2 of them.
We did
let's
2.
Let's go to the cons. But we want to know what you guys what you guys want to see in the future, because I do feel like you guys are interacting in a lot of this conversation about where the future of comics are, the movies, everything involved.
Absolutely. Yep.
Let's talk about cons, man, because most recently, man, these damn foils, all of these cons, I'm going to highlight MegaCon exclusively. And I'm going to say I spent a lot of money at MegaCon.
Did it work out, though? Did it work out?
Yes.
Okay.
As an immediate seller, yes, I was able to get books in and get them out, and some of them kept value and some of them didn't. But Batman 423.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go from a $100 foil to $750 foil to where it's averaging about $400 right now? Now, beyond that being a McFarlane iconic cover, no one cares about that book.
Nothing. Not even a key.
Why the hell is a reprinted foil going for this much money right now?
Because the interweb said it should. I hate to say it, but that's the honest. Somebody was really good at selling it. Was like, you need this shit right here. This shit.
But was that a
it's
pump?
Shiny. You need it.
But was that a pump? Because one day it was selling for $100, $125, and then 2 days later, someone put it up for $750 or something, or it went up on auction with bids for $750.
Yeah.
On Feebase, and it sold.
Yeah. It's because of how. It's because of how we
manipulating the market.
Absolutely.
The market.
Absolutely. But like, it's how we justify prices is based off of a recent sold. So let's say that I can, man, I've said this on my channel. I've said I can manipulate the market. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a friend sell me his book. We're not going to have to pay anything but the eBay 15% fee. That's all I'm going to have to pay. And the buyer's going to have to pay taxes. Nothing else happens. And you can sell the same books to each other to influence the market. And you have 30 copies of that book. And then you start selling it for half that price. You're still making like a ridiculous amount of profit. It's very, very simple how you can do it. It's like a cut and paste. Yeah, because of how we price things. So like what did it sell for yesterday? Oh, it sold for that much. That means that this book right here is worth way more than I thought it was. But we make those prices. So we as a community need to figure out how we want to price books going forward.
But
as we
go
FOMO.
Into this. It's the FOMO.
Well, listen,
what I'm not getting though.
But hear me out. There's going to be a big change in pricing. I don't know if you heard the news. There was a big announcement today.
What's that?
The largest comic book collector app for storing your collection is CLZ.
Yes.
CLZ is now officially working with Cover Price on all of their pricing and market adjustments for anything that's listed for both graded and raw books.
Interesting.
So what is that? What is the impact that's going to have?
So people are now going to base the value of their raw books off of whatever Cover Price has it listed at. They're not going to go to eBay anymore. I mean, eBay will always be it's sold for this last time, but
Correct.
Cover Price is going to be a larger market analysis on a book.
Cool.
But still, you're not going to get. See, the problem with Cover Price and Go Collect is they lag behind the market, right? And when something pops,
Cover Price has been like on it. Cover Price truly has been on it.
Okay, so maybe Cover Price, but what I see from like Go Collect is it's usually like 3 weeks behind or something like that. So like, let's just put that friendly neighborhood number 6, right? When that El Muerto hit, you know, the everyone calls him the purple Yoda Jim, and you got key collectors start putting out alerts. That pumps up the market. Everyone is selling for 3 weeks before Go Collect changes their prices. So if Cover Price is up to date, I still don't know that it's going to impact the people who see Key Collector or who see some of these YouTube influencers that say this has gone up 700% because of this news. Ladies and gents, are you watching this? This is crazy because X, right?
Yeah.
And when you hear that, you say, okay, I got 3 of those in my. When I hear that, it tells me to go to my LCS and look in the back bins and grab the 3 off of them, off the rack, and put it on my show, right? And because what I bought for, $8 out of my, my back bins is now going to sell for $25, $50, $75. And
absolutely.
It becomes a market for that.
I want to address what Matt said. We came from like Overstreet Price Guide being like an actual book that is printed.
It came out. Yeah.
Yep. And we've gotten to the point where it's like, well, now we have like media where we can actually like go and see Cover Price. And as what are you doing to me?
Matt, you're messing with us, Matt.
My hands are up here. I'm messing. Yeah,
I'm literally going like this. It's not me.
Coming from the man that's physically going like this when his head is.
We went from a printed media of dictating what our prices are to a digital media of being able to figure out what our prices are. And if those two companies, what Matt just said, combine together, we're going to have a more efficient way to price our comic books. And
Cover
thank
price
you. I need that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that.
It pulls from eBay. It pulls from Heritage.
Cool.
And the fact that, here's the kicker, raw books.
But
can we pull from Whatnot?
The community is not changing the price.
They can't pull from Whatnot.
Outsiders.
Kyle. Yeah, they can't pull from Whatnot because I hate to say this because I'm a Whatnot seller now. 90% of what people put in Whatnot, lot number 1.
Right.
Oh, touche.
Like there's nothing that says truly what it is.
And also, like I said, the community is not necessarily buying those books that are driving up the price. It is outsiders, right? Oh, I heard this ghostwriter, Arabi Reyes, is the one to get. It's not the community ends up having to pay the price, but what happens is you got outside investor money that starts triggering these runs on these. It becomes the stock market, ladies and gents. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
When there's a run on something hot, they're in it. And you have to go for the roller coaster. So I see a lot of people in the auction like, okay, Sands has that for $30 when I just saw it on eBay for $60. I better get it now because next week is going to be $100. And half the time it is, right? You look at that Catwoman 43 where I bought in on it because I pre-ordered those. Versus where I sold them versus where they ended up was, tremendous. So people are like, yeah, of course. Go ahead, have a seat.
That's the star, man.
Oh, that's the
star, dude.
He came with his great little night outfit on. He's already ready to go. Man. School just ended today. Last day of school, man. But long story short, all I'm saying is there is a place in time where those books are skyrocketing, and some of them are staying at that point. Some of them are coming crashing back down. So you have to be very careful.
Absolutely.
You know what also you have to be careful about? Buying books on eBay. Because, when you buy books on eBay and you send them out for a year and you get them signed by a top artist like Eastman, and when your book comes back that it's a counterfeit,
yes,
and you have a counterfeit signed Turtles first print in a 9.0. I don't even know how that even happens.
So, let's clarify. I don't think you bought this from eBay.
I did. No, I did. This is 100% eBay buy.
This This was eBay. Okay, I thought this came through the other networks of he who shall not be named.
No, not at all. Not at all.
This is 100% an eBay buy. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 for an Eastman signing that was 17 months ago. But of course, it takes CGC, 32 years to get something graded.
Yeah.
But how do you get a counterfeit in a 9.0?
Book is probably worth more than the original.
Thank you, Steve.
Why would they slab it?
Not only slab it, they inspected it to give it a grade of a 9.0. So they graded this counterfeit top quality
and confirmed the signature.
Yeah, and authenticated the signature
because the signature is real. The signature
everything's real. The signature, the remark, everything's real. But
everything's legit except for the book.
Right. My question is, it's a counterfeit book. But from that standpoint, does that increase the print count of the book, or is it just is it now there's now 10,000 more of these books out there floating around?
I can't.
There's 3 on census,
so that makes it a rare. That's actually and in that grade, 3 of those available ever. People are actually going to want that book, Matt.
I want the book. I want the book based on that.
It makes it even more rare than the original.
We're gonna start this auction Tuesday night at a penny.
Kick him right now.
Right. That's like that faker He-Man, right? When they had the fake He-Man out there, everybody was losing their mind. But now that He-Man is worth like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's an anomaly. Like people are after the rarity of that. So I would just say kudos to you, man. You scored.
No. And the worst part about it is, man, like I've had so many people come over and be like, I need to see this. And I have another one, and they look at them side by side, front to back. Nothing, no difference. Like
that is crazy. That is
but as crazy. I said, like you take a risk on all these sites. You never know what you're getting.
Absolutely.
So
So-
we're gonna ignore that comment.
Oh, you
Stick to
son of a
DC.
bitch. You
Stick to
son of a
DC.
bitch.
William, come on,
What?
our episode 10.
No, we need to be in person. I know you're on the East Coast, William. You're somewhere around here. I'm gonna drive, and we're gonna do this from the road. So that way, every time you have a smart comment, you can smack me, and I can smack the shit out of you, and we'll just go back and forth.
Oh, they're having smack battles.
We'll do it with the what is it? We'll do it with the what's it? The tortilla challenge now, where you smack someone with the water in your mouth.
Next big thing you guys are looking forward to in the comic or collectible market.
Okay.
Matt.
Brother, July, summertime, it's Terrificon for me, but I am struggling to find motivation right now for Terrificon. Like, even like I go to Terrificon not for the venue. I go there because they usually bring in some of the best artists around. And the artist pool this year so far that I've seen is just weak.
That sucks.
And like I said, I think it's going to be Baltimore in October, and that's it.
Baltimore might be the move.
So,
and then from like a book or any kind of collectible, is there anything that's piquing your interest in these next couple of months?
Yeah, getting something off my top 5 hunt list that I haven't gotten. I'm already 6 months into this damn year. I have not gotten one book on my hunt list. Nothing. No and Batman 121, no First Mr. Freeze, no Aliens #1 in the 9/8. That's an enigma.
Yeah.
No Fantastic Four #5, Doctor Doom. I told you I'm hunting that down. I had a really crappy raw one and I passed on it. And Detective Comics 168, First Red Hood. I mean, I'm looking for big books. So,
with regards to Doctor Doom, which keys, like this community will help you find your books, Matt. Which keys are you looking for?
The ones that can be afforded in my lint of a pocket right now. Whatever key this awesome, one-of-a-kind, counterfeit Turtles #2 first print signed and sketched by Eastman will get me. If you can print out that cover on an Epson printer and send it to me, that's about where I found it.
That sounds about the counterfeit way to go, right? Let's talk about what you're looking forward to going forward, Kyle. Collectibles.
I'm looking for Thor: Love and Thunder to be horrible so I can say I told you so.
Oh man, you almost made me spit out my wine.
The problem is all this stuff is. I was trying to go through my wish list, but it's all alphabetized.
That's your Amazon wish list.
It's not by release date, so I still have like Stray Dogs on here. So,
my man's a time traveler. What's going to be the next hit?
Ooh, I got to be honest. I really love 8 Billion Genies right now.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not sure if you guys are reading 8 Billion Genies, but
I gotta read it. I just ordered the second one.
I'm still stuck on 6. I haven't got to 8 yet.
Oh, okay. You're at 6 Billion Genies. It's a cool ass book, man. I'm really enjoying 8 Billion Genies. Duel is in the runnings for my best of the year.
Duel, okay.
Yeah, DUEL, like Duel.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? New Men, NEW space MEN. Those 3 books are on my watch list for just being amazing. So that's all I have to say. It's all indie books. So
I was really focused on a lot of indie recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I've shifted back to Marvel DC. I'm really looking forward to this whole Dark Crisis DC continuity storyline. It is seeming like it has some good legs to it.
I've never seen so many preludes, man. There's a prelude, there's an introductory, there's
the zero.
Then we finally made it to 1.
You won't be disappointed.
What'd you say?
Do not get your hopes up. You won't be disappointed.
That's
the
true.
Last thing they tried to do like this was the Trinity War run, and it had all this hype, and it went.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Not so much like movie wise, but the comic book that's coming out in August. There's different characters in that, so I'm actually looking forward to that. And from that standpoint, I just want to see where that goes. And the only other thing that is kind of on my radar is X23. For whatever reason, I have a feeling about X23 right now, man.
It's not a bad feeling.
Right, it's not.
I mean, that's a good investment book.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, everything X23. I'm like, yo, I just sent out some pictures today, man.
I'm telling you, Marvel is going to struggle trying to recast Wolverine, so it is a safe bet to go with X23 over try to bring back Wolverine.
Okay, that's fair.
So I kind of feel like that's something that they can grow with and do. But again, focused on Miles too, man. That's the big deal. That's the big thing. Kyle knows I'm after Miles.
Dr. Doom Fantastic Four. If you got Dr. Doom Fantastic Four, you let me know. You can have Miles for right now.
So just as we're wrapping up our final segment here, we want to talk about what, if any, cons or kind of anything spec wise people should be focused on, whether it's the next show that's coming up, the con to go to, or the book that is not out just yet. There we go. Hello, Cheesy Wine Bros. Max is in the house. My homie Max is in the building. Anything from the next big thing, right? So can we get ahead of the next Stray Dogs? Can we get ahead of the next, something that's killing the children? What, if any, would be something on the radar to focus on for this final segment? Kyle.
It's not Grimm. It's not Grimm.
It's funny. Somebody just asked about
that. Did anyone pick? I don't care respect, but I want to see if it's worth reading. Reva Binks. Sorry, I gotta get that right. The art is really cool in an aspect, but at the same time, it's like cookie cutter. I don't know. From my personal, if you want to take any validity to my word, I'm not a big Grimm fan, but that's just me. I wasn't a big Eve fan. I was a decent Proctor Valley Road fan, but it just follows the same kind of trajectory. Like people hype up on like the different titles from the bigger publishers, like DC Black Label. People love that shit, and if, like I said, if you're trying to make money, you follow the keys, you follow Marvel, you stick to stuff that you like. If you're following indies, you read the books. So you got to be a reader if you want to actually like make money on indies.
You know what's been making money for me lately? Silver Age Sands.
Okay.
About that, buying your silver, people are buying silver from me. I have these Grimm 1/100s. I have these other key new books. People are picking them up. There's no issue with that.
Yeah.
But
buy the older books. You hold the indies that are good right now. You don't sell them. You don't try to write.
Is the damn silver. When silver goes up on my show, you get a whole nother layer of buyers that show up, and they're like, "Oh, are you putting up more of that? Hey, chap, are you putting up more of that, mate? What's going on?" And it's like, hey, did you just come from a different country to ask me?
We just came from over the pond and we saw that you had that Silver Age.
Right. So, that being said, silver is it seems to be, when I break out the 12 centers and stuff of that nature, people perk up, and it's not so much that you need to have a 9.0 in a silver. You can have a 4.5. You can have a 3.0. You just sell it at what it's worth, and people are picking up the silver. And I think that goes with where we are in terms of the market. People want consistency that the silver brings to them. Have you guys noticed that as well?
Absolutely.
I always go silver. I'm sorry. I'll flip modern all day to buy silver until I die.
Yeah.
Now, with the recent passing, we would be remiss not to mention the recent passing of some legends, right? You have George. You have Neil.
George. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And
who would win in a fight between George and Neil?
Right? I'm going with George on that
I'm
one.
going with George all
I'm
day.
going with George on that. But
I've met Neil Adams. He's a little shifty, man. He's
a little shifty, son. You got the eyes. The eyes are dodgy right there, right? So,
he was looking through me when I was looking at him, man. So
the impact that their work has had on the comic book industry and the legacy that they leave going forward is unfathomable.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that boost in their comic sales. Is that something that people need to be aware of in terms of that won't sustain or get
I
them
don't know.
now
They're legends.
go into another stratosphere?
They're legends. I think that'll sustain.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it'll go. It's not a bad value right now to buy anything signed by them because you're never going to get it again. It's either what's in the market or not.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
And Justin, I would, man, but I sold everything. I got out. House of Slaughter and Something to Kill in Children, 20 on are garbage. I can't keep them.
We've already talked about a Nemesis, man. They should have stopped at 15 for Something That's Killing the Children. And Kyle hated the book from number 1. So
don't follow my trajectory on that book because I've done some stupid stuff. So
for me, the artist that I want to meet the most right now, currently,
thank you, Liz.
I am really liking, and this is just based off of current industry stuff. I just like Rose Besh a lot.
Ooh.
It's just different,
okay,
and it is really unique. I think her style, similar to Peach, where you could tell a Rose Besh, you could tell a Peach, but for me, Peach is hit or miss. For me, Rose has more of a Sting style that I could see her doing different things on, and she's not just kind of like too watered down. So Rose Besh would be an artist I want to meet like right now, like go to a con and just have her sign everything I have, or have her come on to a show and work with us for like a blank cover battles or something of that nature. Speaking of which, Matt, we need Trish, and shout out to the community. We need 2 female artists to do blank cover battles. Spread the word.
Hey, William, you're up.
I got one for you. Wait, William. I have one. I have one for you if you need one.
We need it.
All right.
Let us know.
I literally got you. So
all right, we got 3 minutes to go. So my artist, I have to say, if I wanted to meet in person, for signatures, I need Tyler Kirkham because I got a ton just sitting waiting for some Mark's name. But personality, Scotty Young. I want to meet Scotty. I whiffed on him at Third Eye, and I am so mad.
we should have went back to that.
It was our anniversary. I was so
Matt. We should have went back. Me and Matt went to our Third Eye signing and had a blast with James Tinian, man. We should have went. Next time. Oh man, we gotta do it.
But honestly, I talk to Ivan like at least twice a day. This man never sleeps. He messages me all day.
Ivan Toll is working, man. He is working.
Dude, he does some awesome art too.
And he will send me stuff like, I'm working on this. What do you think of this? Or how's this person's hands look? Like in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., because he knows I'm working at a hospital. I know you're up. I'm outside getting a ciggy right now. I need you to look at something.
Right. Right.
And like me and him, we talk all the time. So
man, that's so cool. That's awesome. What this community
Max,
is for.
No pressure, Max. You're a legend for being one of our first contestants, Max. You will always be a legend. Kyle, who do you want to meet and kind of and you can go current, you can go old school.
No, I got it. Jorge Corona.
Oh, okay.
I want to meet Jorge Corona and I want to talk to him about Nightwing number 78, and that's all I want to talk about. Or no, 87. The continuous, that was so freaking cool. Nightwing 87, go pick it up, read through it. It's too short in my opinion, just because of how amazing it was. So Jorge Corona, hands down.
So we got 1 minute. Will Chip Zdarsky's run on Batman be good?
Yes.
Why not? Chip Zdarsky's awesome.
It'll be the
Oh,
best
no.
Batman run since Tinian left.
Okay, we heard it
Interesting.
here.
Will he introduce as many characters?
No, he'll keep the story concise.
Cool. Let's go. I'm down with it.
All right, ladies and gents, this is
Ooh,
bringing to a close our episode 9 of Blank Cover Battles.
Yeah.
From my co-host Matt, my co-host Kyle, to all of the people out there in the community. We thank
Understand
you.
he just said blank cover battles, but he meant wine, cheese, and comics, please. I've literally gone through an entire one, so thank you for that.
It's been a great night. Let's just get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. With that being said, we want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the community. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Watch this on the rewind. We have a lot of fun, y'all.
We have 8 more episodes that you can listen to, so you're good to go.
William, I'll see you next week, my friend.
Please come on.
Come on next time, Billy Badass.